Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everyone. Dr. Mom Live coming to you on a Wednesday morning, bright and sunny outside in our area. Supposed to be getting into the 70s. How can you not be motivated? So, this morning I woke up, I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you going to talk about today? And I'm like, gotta fix my lips. I'm like, how about being motivated on moving forward? Because this morning I woke up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get up today. I was tired. Maybe it's the middle of the week. I'm not sure. I have a lot of things to be motivated for, but I just didn't want to get out of bed this morning. So why did I get up? I think for me, a lot of the reason I stay motivated is because I am somebody who stays with what I say I'm going to do. And so I've got goals that I set up. That's all part of moving forward. So this is my moving forward series. Having a strong foundation, setting goals, self-development. All of those reasons are the reasons I got up and went to the gym again, even though I was tired and I wanted to sleep in. And the funny thing is my kitty she knows when I'm getting so I usually have something that helps me stay awake after I set my alarm. My alarm goes off. I have usually used to be sugar-free Red Bull. I'm trying not to do that anymore because I don't think it's the best for you, but I guess it has tannins in it. I have a lot of research to do on that. So I'm like, well, why? And the kitty will come and she knows I'm trying to wake up. So I'll have coffee. I have some amino energy that I've been taking, but I'm going to stop doing that because it has a little bit too much sugar. Like I can taste the sugar in it. So when I run out, I'm not getting more, but I'll have that with water, mixed up with water. And so it's sort of like telling myself, I'm going to load you up with some caffeine so you can't go back to sleep because I was late on Monday because I did. So what motivates you? What motivates us? Why are we motivated? What drives us? So the quote I have today, I actually got off the back of one of my racquetball buddies at the gym. He's also a real estate agent, Omar. On the back of his card, I just happened to be looking at it. I flipped it over and it says, seek what sets your soul on fire. I really like that. So maybe that's what motivates us. Maybe. I don't know. Let me know what motivates you. By the way, subscribe, like, and ring the bell. There, I got it out of the way. I'm trying to remember that every time. So what motivates you? What does set your soul on fire? What gets you up every day? What gets you moving forward? What gets you? What lights your fire? Why do we do it? Where does that come from? Is it just our innate feeling inside? Is it back from when we were hunter-gatherers and we're motivated because I guess in ways our body makes us, we're motivated because our bodies tell us to get up and make, work so that we have food. So it just out of the blue, it reminds me of this. So my husband and I followed this, we call him the preacher man. He's passed away now. I think his name was Arnold Murray, and he's just this Marine, cool, awesome guy, the best. Shepherd's Chapel, if you get a chance, watch him because he's really awesome. Just I don't know, man's man, I guess. I guess he farmed. But he was really cool. We used to watch him a lot. So he would say, if somebody's laying around the house not working, stop feeding them. Stop feeding them, because what's going to happen when their backbone hits your, I think, what did he say? I think he said, when your belly hits your backbone, you're going to become motivated. So they're going to get up off the couch and they're going to go find a job so that they can feed themselves. So I guess maybe that's some of it, is, because we have to feed ourselves, right? We have to take care. Well, we don't have to, but it's a natural, seems like a natural thing that we were born with, that we have to feed ourselves. So that's part of it, I guess. But I did kind of write some things that what motivates me. I'm talking about it today because I wasn't motivated this morning. Like, I got up and I'm like, oh, I don't know. For some reason I was thinking, oh, I don't want to do this again. I'm a little bit exhausted because I've been doing a lot of work on my house, trying to get it ready to sell and things like that. And I don't know, I was tired. I'm a little tired today. Maybe that's it. I don't know. So I just wrote down, what does motivate you? What gets you up? What moves you forward every day? So I wrote a better life. I want to create a better life. So what does that mean? So my kids have more, so my kids and grandkids. I want to make myself better so that I provide an example for them to follow, right? So I want to be better for that reason. Take care of myself and my family. That's also something I want to provide a good example, and others around me. Take care of yourself so that other people look to you as a good example. So I sort of feel like that's just something that as human beings, we all should strive for, is to provide a good example. And that's probably the leadership piece. If we take care of ourselves, then our family's gonna hopefully pick up those good habits, right? Which we talked about yesterday was habits and consistency, doing it every day being consistent. But what motivates us? Why did I get up this morning when I wanted to sleep in? Because one of the reasons I did is because I set goals. So I set some goals of going to a bodybuilding competition this summer. And I set the goal up. And because I said that I was going to do it, because I told everyone I was going to do it, I have to follow through and do it. And so that's why I think setting goals are so important, because if you say them, and especially if you say them out loud to all the world, basically, then if you don't follow through, you're kind of a chicken, maybe. For me anyway. And that, so another one, motivation, is vanity. You want to look good. I was watching an interview yesterday on it. She's a dancer, on Lewis Howes, by the way, and I follow him every day. He's so inspirational. I really like him, and so I'm going to put his website too. She's a judge, young, beautiful lady. She's a judge also on Dancing with the Stars. So he was interviewing her, and I was like, what was I talking about? And she was talking about vanity, and she was talking about how she was dancing because for the vanity aspect of it, right? You want to look good. You want to be appealing to other people, I guess. I've got that in me. It's not as much as I used to be like that. But I think we all do. I think we all have some of that, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. If it drives us to become better, you don't want to be somebody who's not humble and somebody who's just like, oh, I'm like good. I'm looking really good. You want to be humble about it. So I guess to me that does motivate me. Sorry. I always liked looking really good for my husband. I'm motivated now because I'm single. But I always did work out. So I would like to meet somebody someday. So I want to look the best I can look. My other one was competition. So I'm really competitive. I'm pretty competitive. And so I really want to take care of myself. I want to become an entrepreneur and build my business because I want to be a good leader for other people. There goes Kitty. She'll probably be up and down a few other times. So I'm pretty competitive though. I don't. I've always been that way. I've always been very competitive in sports, almost to a point where I didn't like myself though. So competitive is good, but not at a point, and I didn't like this about myself in high school. I think there were reasons for it. So like when I was small, we moved to this little town and I didn't feel like I fit in, and I felt like, the girls were kind of mean to me, and like it's normal, right? It's normal. When you move to a new place, it's a different environment, and so I think when that happened, I'm like, okay, fine, then I'm just gonna outdo you all, and I think that's where my competitive. It seems like that's where that started. And so I got really good at sports. I started playing a lot of basketball and a lot of sports. Now the boys all seemed to be real nice to me, and I always got along with them real well. Um, but I wanted to have friends, and so I got really good at competing. I got really good at sports to a point where I was outdoing people, which is fine. But you also want to have a good team environment. There's a point where I don't know. I remember wanting to make all the points, and it was almost to a point where I felt good about myself, but I was making them feel bad because I wasn't being a team. I definitely wasn't being a good leader, you know. If as a leader you want to look out for other people and you don't want to hog all the points. But I don't know, I was doing it because and I lived that way for most of my adult life is how can I outdo everyone? How can I outdo everyone? So I am pretty competitive, but at least thank goodness I'm not as competitive as I used to be, where I wanted to put other people down. I wanted to be better than them to put them down. I don't want to, that's not what it's about now. Um, but I'm still competitive. Like I'm very competitive in everything. That's why I like competitive sports, like bodybuilding. That's why I want to do that. I think it also motivates me to have people to compete against. I really like people that are competitive too, because I feel like the more I'm around them, the better they make me. So the more competitive they are, the higher I want to achieve. And I like those kind of people because it motivates me. That's part of me, that competitive nature. And the same thing in everything I do. So, doing this channel now, I'm looking at what others do, and in ways I'm competing against them. I'm understanding it. Like I'm getting, I liken it to this fast moving stream. I've said this before. And I can see all these people just moving really fast with technology and, linking thing, Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram and all these things are rolling, and they've been doing it for a long time, and they're just in and they're moving really fast. And I'm sort of watching it going, I need to get in, but you don't just jump into that. So you have to start somewhere. And so I'm starting somewhere and I'm learning. And, I have my friends that are giving me hints on, hashtags. My friend Sandra, she's like, you need to do this and you need to do that. And every time she tells me something, I do it. And it is so beneficial. And so I'm like, thank you, because I wouldn't have known that myself. So I am competitive. And I'm figuring things out, right? So competition. I'm pretty competitive person. And I've seen a lot of the YouTubes I've been watching now on entrepreneurs that are in this, the YouTube, the blogging. I'm not sure completely what I'm call myself. So they're like, oh, what are you doing? Someone will ask me, what are you doing? I think I'm blogging. I think I'm a motivational speaker. I'm going to be doing challenges, and I'm doing these series. Am I teaching? I don't know. What I really like, what I love is being one-on-one with other people. So I'm not sure where I'm headed, which is okay too. And that brings me to a quote I found that just what that's about, just what I'm doing. What am I doing? So this says, and it's anonymous. Some of these quotes, I can't find who wrote them originally, but it wasn't me. So I don't want to plagiarize. It says, you don't always need a plan. Sometimes you just need to breathe, trust, let go, and see what happens. That's where I'm at, is that very place. That's why I keep doing this every day, because I know that it's going to come to me. I know it's going to all come together. I've done a lot of things that way. So on my doctorate on change, when I first got in it, I had no idea what it was. Doctorate, writing a dissertation is a crazy thing when you haven't done a lot of research. And I was doing it right in the middle of COVID in May of last year. And so a lot of my advisors were overwhelmed with teaching online, and everything went online and no one was around. And so I had to figure out a lot of it on my own. And I don't know that that's bad. I kind of wonder if that's not an initiation thing, because it seems like it is. Like, okay, time for me to jump in. But you don't like at first. So you sort of have an outline. They'll tell you what you need, but you got it. A dissertation, you have to really, it's all about citing people. You're not an expert in anything you do at that point, right? And so you need to provide link it to some kind of work that's already been done. Usually some kind of graph is good, a model. A model is good, and somebody's theory that's already been established, because then you can sort of base all of your research on that. And then it's not you doing it, but so I did mine on change in the grief model, which was a well-established model. And then a theory of change management, Shine's theory of change management. So I combined those two. So, but it took me a long time. I didn't have a plan to begin with. I mean, I sort of did. In that case, I just needed to breathe, trust, let go, and see what happens. And I have learned over my career in school, which is over 20 years, at working at it, I have learned to trust myself to complete what I'm going to do. I have learned that. So there's been multitude of papers. Like, the higher you get, the more there is. This one, we had to write at least 100 pages. 150 was too many, my advisor said. I think they like it around 120. I got to where I was writing 25 pages pretty easy, but I'm more of a technical type writer than I am it just flowing easily, right? So I had to trust myself though to that process. And so it's the same thing now. So another thing I put is you want to feel good. So motivation, there's actually, Dr. Huberman said, in his studies showed that when we set goals and we complete even starting the goal, that our dopamine in our brain kicks in. It's a feel good, sort of a congratulations thing to ourselves. And by starting those, the dopamine does kick in. So it actually is a reward system internally that says, good job. It's like me this morning. I didn't want to get up and go to the gym. I wanted to sleep in. But I've already set up these predetermined goals for myself. And so I can't back down on that. I can't. So I'm really a tough boss. That's what I always say. I'm pretty tough. So I felt good getting up. Once I was up, I was all right. Once I got to the gym, I was still kind of sluggish. I don't know what was going on, but once I started on the treadmill, it was hard. It was hard getting through the whole thing, but I was proud of myself for getting up and going. And now it's done, I did stop by my favorite restaurant to see my favorite waitress, and she was gone. But I stopped by and had some coffee. I didn't want to cook breakfast, so I get my keto meal. The breakfast I order is pretty economical because it comes with quite a bit. Then I can take it home, and I don't have to cook today. That's called laziness. But okay, so want to feel good. So that's also what motivates me. I want to live healthy. I know what it's like to live unhealthy because I got pretty heavy for a while. It's going through a whole lot, and I wasn't following all these things. There's these other priorities in my life at the time, and I don't want to live that way ever again. So I know by getting up every day and going to the gym first thing in the morning. I do that at least 6 days a week now. I'll be honest, I like the 5 days a week because by the weekend, I want to give myself a break. I feel like my muscles, I have worked out. I work out pretty hard when I lift weights. And I feel like on Saturday, I don't want to do that, but when you're doing a bodybuilding competition, you got to do it. The closer you get, and I'm looking at August, the more you have to work hard at it. And my muscles by the end of the week they're pretty stressed out. I feel like I've had a good workout week. And today was a 40 minutes on cardio. And what I do is I get on the treadmill and I put it at like a 20 incline. And I'm not going super fast, but it gets you out of breath fairly quick. Like you just keep walking and walking and walking, and you're going straight uphill, and you're pretty out of breath by the time I had to hold on. I don't like to hold on to the sides or the top of the treadmill. And today I had to do that. I don't know. I'm low in energy. I have been cutting back on calories and carbs to try and drop the weight, which I am. I am dropping the weight. But I'm a little bit weak in the morning at the gym. So I can't go as hard, but it's okay. I'll bring that all around. So that's living healthy. That's one of my motivators. and to take care of myself. So that's the self-care part, the professional development, the self-development. Um, you need to do that. And I'm not going to be able to take care of myself if I'm not motivated enough to make my business work, to go to the gym every day, to stay healthy so that I can have the energy, to have energy, to feel good. So this leads me to my next quote. And it says, if you don't like something, so if you don't like something, this to me is why maybe a lot of us are motivated to change. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. And that was Maya Angelou. It looks like Angelou. I like that because I felt like she's saying, look, if you don't like where your life's at, and that when I started going to the gym 5 years ago, I was in horrible shape. I was 57 pounds overweight. Well, probably more than that. I haven't still reached my goal. So, um, but I felt horrible. Didn't feel good about myself. It was rough. And so what I did is started a gym plan and told myself, and you're going to do this every day. And so that was my goals then. My goals then was just to get through 5 days a week. I had no clue I was going to do a bodybuilding competition. That came along later. At first it was just like, okay, get up every day, go to the gym. And during that time, I was going through a lot of really heavy grief and shock to my system and all the things that happens when you lose somebody really close to you. And so I simply got up. I thought of it as getting up every day and putting one foot in front of the other, and that's what I did every day for months and years until it was a natural thing to do, and I actually look forward to it. But I went to classes that there was some on cardio 5 days a week, 2 cardio, I believe, or 3 cardio, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the other 2 were weight training, bodybuilding type, body pump type class. And I did that for a couple of years until I got to a good place, and then I just kind of started going out and doing the weight training myself. But it took a few years for me to start feeling really good about myself. So if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. I don't know that we can't change anything. So maybe motivation a lot is based on where we're at in our life. Are we not happy with where we're at? I think that motivates me. Like, I want to be able to be the best I can be comfortable, be able to travel and see the most I can see in this life. Like, we've only got one life to live, right? Um, I want to do and take in the most that I can take in this lifetime. And, our whole thing is, well, we're motivated so we can build it, be creative enough, build, a substantial income no matter how you do it so that you can retire and be able to travel and things like that, right? So that motivates us. And I think it's because I don't know. That's just the way that seems like the way that we do things. So we don't maybe I don't know, maybe some of us are born with lots of money and a comfortable life, but I wasn't. So it wasn't that we were poor by any means. Like, my parents provided well for us. We were probably, middle of the road. But we had everything we needed. We were always fed. I don't know how they fed 4 kids, because it seems like we go shopping and like the groceries were gone in the second day and we had like 2 weeks to make it on. But, so I kind of grew up thinking, well, you know what? I want to build, I want to be able to do and provide for myself, and have a good life, so I'm comfortable, so that I'm not worried about, you know, where things are coming, so I can pay for everything. And so that's sort of what motivated me to keep going to college and getting degrees, was to get promoted, to take care of myself, to provide a future for my kids. There was a lot of things that kept motivating me. So I kind of like that too. I mean, what if you can't? So if you don't like something, and I think that's often what does motivate us, is if we don't like something about our life, then you can change it. You can find a way to change it. Look at others. What are others doing? How can we change by maybe even imitating it? Like a lot of the YouTubes, I am going, I can do that, you know? I like it. I like it and I can do that. So okay, so I did download an article. It's just easier. I haven't, you know, the more I do this, the more I'm going to have time to research. I'm just not able to do a lot of research right now, so I do it fairly quick. This is motivate people to succeed. What motivates you to succeed? So this is common motivations of successful people. So successful people always find motivation to keep going no matter what happens around them or within them. That's one of the differences from someone else. Successful people have the drive to move forward. They channel their time, effort, and energy toward their life goals. So what's stopping other people from staying motivated? What makes them struggle to find that motivation? As it turns out, our enemy is actually ourselves. I think a lot of us know that. We can be the only person standing in our way to succeed. Each of us is unique. We have our motivations to do things, achieve our goals, but regardless, our goals require an effort. That's why we need to get ourselves into that action so that we can direct our efforts toward them. For that, we need motivation. So what motivates you? So is it feeling accomplished? Is it respect? Is it fame? What motivates you? Is it, we have our motivations to be different from other people, from our friends and our family. And I think that's where I was talking about competition, possibly, to be better than, to be competitive. And I think some of us have that in our nature and others don't. I've talked to others that are like, I don't care that I'm competitive. For me, it drives me. Okay, so this is some items that Nahan says: power, self-mastery, growth, recognition and approval, desire to win, reaching out to others, rewards and money, passion, which is kind of a lot of things I talked on. So are you motivated by power, influence, and fame? They want to become powerful and a leader, such as a politician. They want to change and achieve great power. So are you motivated to become famous? Do you feel good leading a team? If you do, your motivation might be to achieve power. However, know your deepest desire and build yourself up to work towards those goals. So I think I used to be more like that. I used to be more motivated by power, influence, and fame, but it's not so much anymore. I really am motivated by helping others, and just by being on here, it motivates me, which I know seems kind of strange, but I'm motivated because I like doing it. So I'm able to use my creativity and reaching out to others. So one of the things I really liked when I was working on on YouTube, my 100 videos in 100 days, is I loved working with, we had a group of people that would come on there that are good friends of mine. And I loved that. So I loved working with others. I love it when I watch the podcasts where they're sort of interviewing each other. I love that. So I feel like because part of me is because you're picking each other's brain, it's just so inspirational to me. So maybe self-mastery and growth. I definitely believe that's a big part of me, motivated by because it develops and grows. So you keep growing. And that definitely is one thing I love. Being educated, my brain working, and developing. I love constantly learning and growing. And I think if you're being interviewed like that, you have to think on your feet. And I love that. I love it. So that's a drive towards self-wholeness, sort of taking a risk and going out of your comfort zone. I love all that. Love it. It just makes me alive. So I kind of wonder, well, would I have liked debate? Part of me, I almost went into being a lawyer because I liked that. I liked it really well. So I think that's just naturally in me. So recognition and approval. Are you motivated to prove that you're the right person? Just like a job interview, applicants try to put their best foot forward to win an offer. Or do you want recognition from others? Do you feel good with achievements? Do you want to prove someone wrong? Do you want to prove to yourself that you can do it? Yeah, I think all of those things. And I've noticed a lot on motivational speakers, a lot of them get into it for approval. And they're, who knows where, somewhere in your childhood, am I trying to get approval to be accepted? I think a lot of people might get started that way. I don't really feel that way anymore, though. And I'm not trying to prove anybody wrong at all. Part of me, I want to competing against myself, prove to myself that I can do it. I like that. I think part of me is like the dopamine. Like I love setting a goal and even just starting it every day. But completing it I'm just like, okay, check mark, that drives me. I love it. So a desire to win. Do you work hard because you hate losing? Yeah, I think yep. Do you spend much time in mastering your craft because you want to excel in your field and be at the top spot? That's why I have set pretty stringent goals on what I'm doing, videos at least 5 days a week. I feel like when I did the 100 videos, I feel like the more you do it, the better you get at it. The more comfortable you get at it, the more confident you get at it. And so, yeah, that's definitely, I don't think it's because I hate losing, though. It's because I want to be, so do you want to excel in your field and be at the top spot? Yes, I want to be one of those. I want to be one of those people that Lewis Howes calls on the phone and says, I want to interview you. Now, I've seen a lot who have written books and things. So it may take, I don't know how long it's going to take. That's up to my higher power. But I have to get really good at doing what I'm doing. And so I'm going to keep doing it. And the more you do it, the better you are. Fake it till you make it, sort of. Or let's see, what did we talk about yesterday? Consistency. So the more I am what I repeatedly do. And so that's my thought. If I'm doing a video every day, which I do 5, I'm doing 5 a week on my Move Forward. my series on bodybuilding. I do one a week out, and I'm way in today, by the way. I get my body fat, so I better watch the time. Yikes. Um, and then I do my house remodel, and now I'm going mobile, which will start probably in a couple months. I'm still a ways out from that. I've got to get my house, and I have a good update. So tomorrow I'll probably do my bodybuilding one update, and then on the weekend is when I usually do my house remodel, because that's when I'm working the hardest at it. Although I have been working all week to try and get it ready because I'm running out of time. I have maybe a couple weeks to finish. I ordered the countertops, which may take a while. So it's getting to be crunch time. Okay, so successful people, even if they stumble and suffer, they just do not quit for the simple reason that they want to be a champion. I think so. I believe my parents installed in me really good work ethic as well. So anything I do, I give it my best. I try my hardest. I do the most I can do. I figure a way through it. So you need to work hard and smartly every moment until you get to your goal. Work on your dreams every single day. Wake up early and achieve more. That's early bird gets the worm, right? So for some reason, they're motivated by the desire to win and be the best in their game. These people include champion athletes and successful leaders. Reaching out to others. Do you have that passion to help others? Are you always up to doing what you can to change some people's lives? Do you enjoy volunteering? Do you fight against global warming? Okay. Are you motivated to give back and leave a legacy to the world? I do want to I love reaching out to others, but I don't necessarily think that I'm helping others as much as they're helping me. So I want to reach out because I love working with others. I love, because you learn so much, like as a group, and I love that part. There are people motivated to inspire and help others so that they can change their lives. Examples of these people are philanthropists, and they give much of their wealth to reach out. And that's another reason, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to help people because I struggled a lot as a young person, and I want to be able to help other people. Rewards and money, like I said from the beginning, that's, I think we're all naturally motivated to take care of ourselves, to feed ourselves and our family, to provide our basic instincts, but also I think we're driven to one day be able to retire in comfort and travel around and do things, that we're passionate about, which brings me to the next one, passion. So it's your motivation. Successful people wake up early, work smartly, and use time wisely than ordinary people because they love what they're doing. And that's very true. So I'm very passionate about this. And I love the fact that it's teaching me so much. Every day I learn so much. There is power in passion. It drives and pushes you harder to achieve it because you think about it all the time and that you badly want to do it and succeed. So normally for me, because I know I'm going to do a video every day, 5 days a week, I already said it. The ones that are easy is my bodybuilding one. That's pretty easy. Like I don't have to do any research for it. I know what's going on. I love it. I have fun with it. I can be silly. And same with my house remodel. Like it's easy for me to get on there and talk. Very easy. Like I never study anything. I just get on there and start talking and have a fun time. My moving forward though, I have to do a little more work. So I have to do a little more research and things like that. But I feel like the more I do on it, the better I'm going to be on it. So, and that's going to be the challenge. So it drives and pushes you harder to achieve it because you think about it all the time and that you badly want to do and succeed in it. And I do. So I don't think of it once I finish for the day, and I have scheduled it to go out about at 1 o'clock. But so my goal is to do one every day, and so I have to get in here in the office and I have to do research, some kind of, what am I going to speak on today? And a lot of times I'm thinking about it first thing in the morning, and I'm like, oh, that'd be a good topic. Or, well, like I said, when I got up this morning, I wasn't very motivated, so I'm like, do one on motivation. So I had to quickly put together some thoughts, find some quotes, do that. Once I'm done, then I can then I would usually go in and work on my remodel, because I've got to get it done. So, and I do have Omar's coming to visit me today and kind of look over my house and things like that. So it's moving fast. So it says on here, if you want to succeed in life, you have to develop a passion. I don't really know how to develop a passion. I just know that I have things I'm passionate about. So I guess maybe by trying things like, I love foreign languages, but I would like to get into art and music, but I can't say it comes super. Art does. And I love dancing. I want to do a lot of dancing. So I guess you could develop a passion by just taking a class on it or something. That's true. Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. And then they're saying, know what motivates you to succeed. Motivation isn't lasting, but you should do it daily to keep moving, no matter what. It is what drives you towards your goals. It is why we wake up and work hard early in the morning. Nevertheless, it is why we want to succeed. This motivation will change, but you can keep it by recognizing how they are changing. So, okay, that was pretty good, right? I like their key points. The second one that I found was areas that drive people. What motivates people, or how do I motivate someone? By showing up, in my opinion, just by showing up, by being there, and by me coming on every day, I'm doing what I said I'm going to do. I say I'm going to do something, so I'm doing it every day. I say I'm going to make a video every day at a certain time, so I'm doing it. So maybe if others see you doing it, then they can sort of follow what you do. And that's also what motivates me when I'm watching other entrepreneurs, other people that are, talking about success and becoming millionaires and all those things. I watch them every day, and they motivate me. So these are the 4 areas that drive people. Advancement, kind of what we talked about. The individual. I like this one. It says madness. That's purpose. I like the madness part. Let's see. So advancement. These people see reaching new heights as the best form of motivation. What's their next promotion? Completing a task. That's me too. And I wonder if next promotion is almost about how, I don't know. I was into that at one time, look at me, look what I've accomplished. And I've heard that called maybe people pleasing at one point, and I was really about that. But I've sort of moved past that. It's not about that as much. Completing a task, I love. I love I love finishing my goals. I like putting that check mark on the box. Meeting a deadline's the same one. Reaching goal as a team, I also like a lot. I love working with other people. Individual. These people see personal goals and wants as the best form of motivation. So their lifestyle, this person likes nice things, but they aren't selfish in a negative sense. People that are driven by achieving a lifestyle know what they want to get out of the hard work. Their goal is tangible. And I would agree I'm like that. And I kept thinking about it. And I think I might have got that from my dad because he always liked new things. He liked bright, shiny things. Um, and I tend to be like that as well. So when I was shopping for my RV, I looked at some of the used ones and they were much lower priced, but a couple of things came to mind. They were out of date and out of style in a lot of ways. They didn't look very good, and I like them to look new. And I'm also doing a podcast in there. I want to set up as my studio, and so it needs to look nice. I want I feel like that's important, and so I would say yes. I do like tangible things. Like I do like nice things. Um, I don't know that that's good or bad. I am conservative to a point, and like I said, I want to get out of debt, but I also want it to be very reliable because I don't know a lot about mechanics or fixing a lot of things. I'm learning to do that in my remodel, but I don't want to do that while I'm out on the road. I don't want to have to be in that situation. So, recognition, working with people driven by recognition, is all about making the extra effort to turn the spotlight on them when they can. I do like being in front of a camera. So, I guess I do like that. I've always been kind of like that. I like that part of it. Security. And that I talked about that already. So madness. Let's see what madness means. These people see unconventional factors as the best form of motivation. Opposition. These top performers need someone to go up against. They need opposition. Well, like I said, I'm very competitive. So yes, I think that's true. Competition, same thing. Control, power, and fame. I hope that I'm not as much of a control. I used to be more about controlling, a lot more. I hope by all the self development, I feel like by all the self development, professional development I've used in my life, I've let go a lot of that control that I don't. I want to help others. I want to have a team where we're all working in unison and I'm not in control of everything. Power and fame. I used to want to, run for governor and mayor and all those things. But I don't really want that anymore. That's not really part of what I'm about. So proving others wrong, no, I don't care about that. The need to avoid embarrassment, I don't care much about that. I don't care if you like me or not. I'm still going to do this because I feel like I'm being called to do it and I'm doing the right thing. So be the best. Mastery and being the best. I do like that. Break records. I like that. I've always been very about that. So the purpose, these people see something bigger than themselves as the best form of motivation. So people that are driven by history want to be remembered long after they're dead. I don't think it's me wanting to be remembered so much as affecting other people's lives and making them better. That's what I want to be remembered for. Not me as a person saying, "Oh, look what she did." It's not that. It's more like when I get to heaven and I'm like, yay, I did it. It's more about the people that I've somehow made their lives better. And they're making my lives better. So helping others, change. I do like change. I think I like to call it adventure, not change. I think I like to call it, I do like adventures. So sometimes change is hard to go through, like what all the change I'm going through now. But once I get my head around it, it makes me a little anxious at first, but I get my head around it, and then I look forward to it. So I guess I would say adventure there, not so much change. I don't know. Impact. For some reason, they want to come in and fill a role or seat. Um, I, yeah, I've always been about making an impact. And then enlightenment. Enlightenment probably is more where I'm at than I've ever been in my life. How can I get myself to be more enlightened by gathering information and data so I can help make better decisions? So once you provide them with the right knowledge, everything clicks and they drive growth. And I love knowledge. Like I never would have ever in 1,000 years thought I would be a doctor in education because in high school, I'm telling you what, I wasn't that into learning. I wish I could go back and do it over, but I was not into it. I was into sports and boys back then, and just that's about it. Living life and learning how to grow up. But now I am all about it. Like I love even like doing a project in my kitchen where it be leveling the cabinet. I mean, how silly, but if it's a skill. And if you can figure out how to do it, and I've gotten better at measurements of things because I was horrible. But once you figure out how to do it, it's very rewarding. It's a technique and a skill. And when you get in and it's leveled, it's very rewarding. You're like, oh, I just learned something new. Same with doing wiring or mudding, or I don't probably want to ever do mudding again, but but I know how to do it now. It's um, it's knowledge and applying the knowledge. And one thing that I did notice is when it becomes a concrete thing that I'm doing with my hands, it's very satisfying. So I know that I'm all about that. Very incredibly satisfying. So goodness, we're having some good weather here in the next week. 70s. Oh my goodness. And it's April tomorrow. Incredible. So I just thought, I'll just end it with April. So my devotions in April, just the start of the month, it says, "In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight." Proverbs 3:6. Proverbs is so full of stuff. Like I love when I was a Christian at first. I love Proverbs because even if you know, even if you aren't somebody who's a believer, just read it, and it's wise advice for anyone. You don't have to be a Christian to read the Bible. It's a very wise book. It now, if you believe it and you're a Christian, you can read through that. You can read through it constantly and get a different message every time. Depends. That's why it's so. I know the Spirit's involved in it. I know that's how we're speaking to God, but it's incredible how I can read my devotions book every day for 6 years, 5.5 years, and never remember what I read. That's incredible to me. That's very spiritual, and I do that on a consistent basis. And I'm learning and growing when I'm doing that. So, well, goodness, I think that's it for today. I never know what I'm going to talk about until, like I said, in the morning or right before I come on here. I kind of make a decision real quick going, that'd be a good topic. Let's learn about that today. So this is going back to Principle 1, foundations, foundations and how we build them, how we make them strong, and spirituality, our family, our self-development. I guess this was probably a little more in self-development, but the motivation, how do we stay motivated? I think part of that goes to your foundation as well, though. Obviously I stay motivated because I have a solid foundation and goal setting, and I like self-development. So I want to keep developing. So that's the tie-in. So please let me know if you want me to research something. I would love to hear comments, subscribe and like, and I'm going to keep coming back to you. So tune in tomorrow 1 o'clock. All right. Everyone have a wonderful day and stay busy and stay motivated. Much love.